Hello, everyone out there watching this video. I had just gotten about 7 minutes into a video and my dog started barking like crazy, so kind of jumped the gun and stopped the video. And uh, on the YouTube app, you can't just start recording again, so cut number two. Take number two. So, um, I wanted to make this video to just kind of gain some understanding of who I am. This is the first video of many videos that I will be trying to help people learn new things. You know, like when we go through school and everything and get older, we just assume that what we're taught is true, and that's not the case. I had no intentions of questioning anything, up until about 5 years ago. My business partner, he was pretty inquisitive and took the initiative to start just questioning things like why bad things happen around the world, like why is there so much evil in the world, and as he started digging into things, he started finding like a whole bunch of satanic and pagan symbolism in science, and that's what you can use to figure out like what's true or not is actually look at this look at the science for yourself and look at the history and figure out like you know what belief system is the most reliable, most consistent, most uh, uh, worthy to be accepted. So he started just asking all kind of questions, and he began to see like how many of you probably kind of somewhat understand now, like Satanism is deeply entrenched in our society. And uh, he'll tell you, if there's evil that you can find in the world, then there must be good as well. That kind of is a given. So he started trying to figure out what is truth, because he knew evil people controlled a lot of what we intake as information and stuff, so in media. So you know biblical cosmology was the final piece of that puzzle for him. And I was around, like I was listening to things he was listening to. And I watched the whole documentary from Eric Dubay, like 3 years ago. And I was pretty confident, like the information, laid out made so much more sense than what's taught in public schools. And I kind of already had like a understanding that just because it's taught in public school, it's not necessarily true. I grew up in a private school, and there they taught, creation. Um, God created mankind. So evolution was so silly to me. But they were teaching it in public school, and I had to get good grades. So I passed. Made good grades through that, and but I knew it was a lie, and so with that kind of perspective already, whenever he told me about like, or kind of just started questioning me, like what do you believe is, um, you know, that what do you believe the Bible teaches about cosmology, and I told him, like I believe that it's taught that his creation was at the center of everything, but I had no desire to really get involved. I was still living in sin. I had you know a relationship that was very toxic. I had been uh, you know addicted to pornography for over 10 years, and also alcohol was like weekly thing, I indulged in. So that definitely adds a level of, problems to any relationship, and it doesn't take a really smart person to understand that. So at that time, I just wasn't ready for change. Um, but he was open for wherever that road took him. He was gonna go down it. So it was really really neat for me to experience. Because here I am, somebody that is supposed to be believing in God and you know uh, helping people to also believe in God, like sitting here like doing nothing and watching this person like find Jesus on his own. He'll tell you, anybody that would have ever came up to him and said, hey, you just need to go to church and you need to believe in Jesus because that's what's right. Like it wouldn't have ever got through to him. Like that would have never impacted him for change. So he's an intellectual person that needs evidence of you know that claim. So as he just unbiasedly searched for information, he started seeing the wickedness exposed, and that made him feel like, okay, well, there must be a God. And then he came across Eric Dubay's documentary and other flat Earth information, and saw how it so accurately lines up with Scripture. And so that was pretty much the last puzzle piece for him to accept Jesus into his life. And that's a huge thing that people just need to try to understand. Like God can reach people in so many different ways. It's not up to us to say, hey, this didn't happen. Like unless you actually look at all the evidence for yourself, like look at everything that they looked at and really use your own mind and logically think about it. It's you know disrespectful to just say no, this couldn't have happened. And it took me something more. It took me experiencing my son's birth, and that adds definitely a lot higher level of responsibility to your life. So with him being born, I knew that I had to start to figure out this life thing, so I can lead him in the right direction and out of any danger that I could have avoided. So that's what really sparked a fire under me. And you know like I said, like I I pretty much knew like the flat Earth documentary was a lot better of an explanation of like how things work, on Earth. There's just so much information in there. Go check it out. The History of Flat Earth by Eric Dubay. If you're an intellectual person, it will definitely definitely get you thinking. So, you know, I I started getting serious. I started saying, well, if I'm gonna be a good parent, like I need to just get serious about like what I believe in and what's right. So um, uh, like that's whenever like I just wasn't piggybacking off of somebody else's beliefs and making using my own mind and verifying things. And as I started like looking into things, it's like yes, you'll get people that are fairly convincing one way, and you'll have people that are fairly convincing the other way. So uh, I was pretty confident that the flat Earth evidence that I had seen, it was unbelievably scientifically accurate as far as like field tests, people doing field tests and experiments that you've never heard of. It's like, why has people never heard of the experiments that undoubtedly prove Earth is stationary. And so these are all little things that will you know just put that like red flag up to like, well, if they're gonna cover this up, then what are they trying to hide? If you want to check them out, Michelson Morley experiment, Michelson Gale experiment, Aries failure, um, Sonyak, uh, and there's a few more that people have done, and they were trying to scientifically prove Earth's motion and Earth's motion through space, and they failed, and that information is out there to see, and you can't you can't deny it. So it's uh, pretty cool for the whole Bible being true side of things. So once I really understood like this is true, like biblical cosmology is not just the ancients' perspective on things, and they were less intellectual than us now. That couldn't be farther from the truth. The ancient people, were quite a bit smarter than the average people today. I mean, just look at the complexity of the pyramids and things. It's like they had a strong connection with the supernatural realm. And uh, so yeah, um, biblical cosmology is definitely the right cosmology, but you have to look at things for yourself and go down that road, and don't be scared of where it might take you. I talk to people all the time that's like, oh, I don't want to look at this information because it might change what I believe or whatever. And these are like supposedly Christians, and it's like, well, Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. So, like, if you're gaining more truth, I don't know why you're scared, because ultimately it's going to make you a stronger Christian, I've seen it in real life. So, um, this is just kind of like an introduction to show you, like, how it changed my life. I'm 2 years or possibly a little bit more, addiction free, alcohol addiction free, pornography addiction free, um, unstable relationship, being free from that garbage. So it's real, it's true. Like Jesus is real, and He will help you through those addictions. So I'm gonna try to give you like information on like things that are false and why they're false, and it's more so going to be like a biblical channel, like for correcting false doctrine. But if y'all have questions for like where to look for certain information, you can always write me or whatever, and I'll try to respond, as quickly as possible. Uh, as you can see, like I'm not just trolling people. Like this map is in my house, and I'm not scared to, have people over that disagree with me and then make fun of me or whatever, But if you want to pull this up and verify it for yourself, the globe Earth model, is only 500 years old. So, like there's a lot of history and stuff behind the flat Earth, evidence, and like I said, the globe model is very new, and uh, there's a lot of easily found like quirks with like NASA and stuff. It's like they've been caught lying so many times, So what's up with that, and um, when you see like 500 years ago is when like the church really started like losing ground on things, it's because they compromised, they had the truth, and then here comes Copernicus, Jesuit trained, and Catholic, spreading their lies throughout the world to bring control back to Rome. That's what the Catholic Church is all about. They want to bring everybody back under their control by any means necessary. So like if they need to create colleges or fund certain uh, curriculums in schools or whatever, they'll spare no expense to shift your mind back to like what will help them control you. So uh, there's so many people that's talked about this stuff. It's crazy, but you got to look for it. You got to, if you really want to know like the meaning of life and like where we've been lied to and stuff, then you got to really just uh, stop being on social media all the time. Like stop watching meaningless shows on Netflix and uh, whatever media apps you have, and just be a smarter person. Like try to be intellectual, because your schooling you got for 12 years like did not make you super intellectual. Neither did the college you got, because they're not telling the truth about a lot of things. So try to throw everything you ever learned in the garbage can and just be an open mind, and start questioning things for yourself, and relearn things with your own mind. Like you can figure out things for yourself. You don't need to be told what to believe in. Take the time to look at multiple articles or multiple studies, multiple different teachers on certain things. Try to find the things that are covered up. There's certain things that are just hidden from us, and you can find those things and figure out for yourself, like, does this make sense? So uh, like I said, like this is gonna be primarily like a a channel for like false doctrine, but there's, I mean, really like all the things that are going on in the world, like that are harming people, will probably be brought up at some point in time. I'm very versatile, like I can cover all kind of different subjects. I've been, you know, studying, because it's like my passion, my hobby now, for over a year. So before making any video, like I've sat on information a long time. That way I'm not being like